there. Welcome to 2022 and what I hope is going to be a fantastic creative year for you. So today I want to tell you about a new tool that I have for you that is absolutely free and I hope is going to help this be a great creative year. And that is our free 2022 Year of Creativity Sewing and Needlework Planner. So I want to tell you just a little bit about this and how you can get your free, yes, absolutely free copy. Now, just let me add one caveat. The PDF copy is free. I do have a bound and printed version you can also purchase that I will tell you about in a few minutes. But first, let me introduce myself. I'm Lisa from Pink Holly Bush Designs. At Pink Holly Bush, we teach modern smocking through our courses and patterns so that moms and grandmoms can add love with every stitch as they create garments, mostly out of knits, that moms will enjoy having and children will just adore wearing. So why a sewing and needlework planner? Well, I hope you know me as a sewist and a smocker. Oh, if you don't know me, I hope you'll get to know me. But I don't just like sewing and smocking. I love to knit. I do a little bit of needlepoint, sometimes some embroidery, and I've even been known to dabble a little bit in quilting. And having a place to sort of gather all of those ideas, keep track of some of that information, and most importantly, just celebrate what I've accomplished through the years and what I'm working on, I just thought would be a lot of fun and a lot of help. So I designed a planner with that in mind. I also was trying to avoid some of those pitfalls that you can run into. And what do I mean by that? Well, have you ever made a pattern for someone else, like sewn a garment? For example, I sew for my 2 adult daughters all the time. And I usually make them knit dresses in the summer. They love that. And if I have one that they particularly love and I got a great fit, do I remember the following year what I did to it? Well, if I had a few notes written down, I would be all set. Or if I'm working on a needlepoint project and I didn't buy enough yarn to finish the snow, which actually is the situation I'm in right now, did I write down what the manufacturer was and what particular color it was, what the dye lot is, so I can go and get it again. So having all of that in one place is, again, kind of what spurred me on to develop the planner. So let me show you what it is, how I use it, but I really do encourage you, take the download, look at it, figure out how you want to use it, and use it whatever way works best for you. There is no right way to use this planner. So what works for you is what works for you. But let me show you how I use it and what's in it. So here is the planner, and as I hope you can see, it prints out a normal size paper, 8.5 by 11. And so I have just taken it, I've printed it on both sides, and I've put it in a 3-ring binder. So here we have 2022, a year of creating. So I have a general introduction for you, some thoughts on how I use the planner, which you can follow or completely ignore. And then we start out, see if I make, there we go, with winter. So I set the planner up seasonally rather than monthly. And I find that planning for a season just is the sweet spot for me. I've been doing this with my business now for several years. And I have found that if I try to plan monthly, often life happens, and what I planned just doesn't seem to get accomplished within the month, and that can be discouraging. And if I try to plan 6 months out or a year, that's just too long. I mean, so much can happen within that time, especially the last few years, right? But I find that 3 month period, that just is perfect. Usually what I plan within the 3 months, I can get accomplished. And if something comes up, you kind of have a little flexibility to flex and figure it out and still get accomplished what you were trying to. So I also live in an area that has 4 distinct seasons here in New England, and so that kind of made sense to me. Now, if you're one of my friends in the Southern Hemisphere and it is not winter where you are, just skip ahead and start with the season that you're in. Or if you get the planner later in the year and it's no longer winter, nothing is dated, so it is flexible and you can just follow whichever season you're in. So here you'll see we started out with winter, and there's lines for 8 projects, and just to lay out very simply what they are. So what I said here is I will sew a coat for my daughter, and I'm going to be using the clear coat pattern, and I'm making it from green wool from Mood Fabrics. I'm also planning to knit a sweater for myself. I'm using the Vivi design from Olive Knits, and I'm knitting it with Barocca Ultra Alpaca in Grapefruit Mix. So then after you have this general planning page, you then have your detailed project pages, and there's 4 of each of them for each season. I didn't think you would want to detail out every project, but if you do, it's a PDF. Just print off a few more project pages and insert them in your binder. But here I have detailed out what I'm doing with the clear coat. So I've printed out just a picture of it and put it in there. I've noted that I'm using, I hit the camera. I'm using a wool coating and a silk lining. I'm making a size 12. I started it in December of 21. I haven't completed it yet, and I'm making it for my daughter. I've noted the notions I need for this. It takes a separating 31-inch zipper, 2.5 yards of twill stay tape, the different interfacings. There's a technique used section, and I've noted that I'm going to interline this with Thinsulite. And then I've made a few notes for myself because I've adjusted this pattern. So I've added a center back seam, and I've added room to the raglan sleeve cap and a 1/4 inch to each side of the top sleeve seams. I don't plan on making my daughter a second coat, but if my other daughter wants a coat, or if I want a coat, I've got some notes on really how I made this one fit. Now, at the end of each season, there's a journal page. And this is just to do a little reflecting for yourself. Not too much, because again, that might not be your thing, but I find that doing a little is helpful. So I have where I can note what I most enjoyed creating. I can celebrate a creative challenge that I've overcome and something new I've learned, and then going forward, what do I want to focus on? So there are, for each season, there's a list of what you plan to make. There's the individual project pages, and then the journal pages. And after you've gone through all 4 seasons, you then get to the gifts section. So there are 4 pages of gifts section, so you can just detail out what you want to make for whom, what you plan to make, and then when you need it by. When does it need to be finished? So I've noted here that there's a new baby in my family, Carson, and I planned to make him a Johnny Romper in size 18 months, and I want to have that done by February 28th. I also have a good friend who's having a baby, but she's not finding out whether it's a girl or a boy. So I will plan to make either a Little Honey, a Pink Holly Bush Little Honey if it's a girl, or Johnny Romper if it's a boy. And I will need that by April 30th. So again, plenty of room to document your gifting plans, and not limited to sewing. Again, you could document whatever it is you plan to make for someone. Next up is the measurement page. Now this is primarily if you sew or knit for someone or for family members, primarily repeatedly. So I entered my measurements, including my head circumference and shoe size. The reason I have those two there are if you knit hats or socks, so you can put that down. And then there's just a notes line. I will fill in my daughter's information here so I have it. But again, anybody that you regularly sew or knit for, you could put their measurements in here. After measurements, we have what I call the tried and true patterns. Now this is the Minetta dress that my daughters love by Seamwork Magazine, and I've made several times. So I've put a picture of it in here, and I've just got some notes for it. So if I'm out shopping and I find a fabric, I'll know exactly what I need for it. So I've noted that it works well in a jersey knit cotton. I've also noted the notions it needs. It needs 2 yards of 1/4 inch clear elastic. That is not something I would have remembered. And so this way I don't get home with the perfect fabric and find I cannot start the dress because I don't have that. I've made a few notes that sleeveless needs a lining, so I remember that. And also that 2 5/8 yards will make the size medium. So if I find a great fabric when I'm out shopping or on vacation or wherever I am that I think would work for this, I know exactly how much I need. Okay. And I've just noted that one of the reasons I love this pattern is my girls love it, and it has so many different variations and options. Okay, and then the last section is the stash section. And here is just pages to note what you have. Again, so if you're out and you see something maybe that you want to coordinate, is the color right, you'll have a little sample. So here I've just taped a little bit of this Sunday Knits Eden yarn. I've noted that its fiber content is wool, that I got it from Sunday Knits. I own 2 balls of it, which is a total of 492 yards. The care instructions are hand wash, and it's fingering weight 3-ply. You could obviously put fabric pieces in here. If you need a point and need to put yarn, you're not sure that you'll have enough of the thread, you could attach that and know it. It just has lots of options. I had a friend who does a lot with the cutting machines, and she was making gifts for this past Christmas using the vinyl, and she thought this would be perfect to note what kind of colors of vinyl she has at home. So again, when she's out and about, does she need to buy more, or does she have already what she needs? So that is what you will find in the planner. And I hope, well, sorry, I keep hitting the camera. I hope you will find it useful and that it will be perfect for you. As I noted, it is a free PDF download. You can grab the link below. If you would like it already printed out for you, I did have some copies made. printed and bound. The size of this is 5.5 by 8.5, and I did it with the idea that it could easily slip into your purse and go with you. Inside, it is the exact same thing. The one difference is I did have it printed on 65-pound matte paper. So it's a really nice paper to write on. It has a nice thickness to it. If you are printing out your own copy using the PDF, you could always print it on cardstock. That would be the equivalent. But there is no problem worrying about bleed through. You can use whatever marker you want to on this and fill everything in. So if you are interested in purchasing the printed and bound planner, again, the link below where you get the free one will also have all the information on how to purchase the bound and printed one. I hope that you will enjoy using this planner, and you will record your sewing and your needlework activities this year. Please subscribe to my channel. If you're interested, come follow me on Instagram. If you are on Instagram, tag me and show me some of your creations. I would love to see them, and show me how you're using the planner. I'd love to see that as well. It is at Pink Hollybush. So have a wonderful and creative year in 2022, and I hope to see your wonderful creations. Happy sewing and stitching and smocking.